Well, hey guys, so as promised, tonight I'm going to show you a little skincare routine for oily, shiny skin concerns. And like I mentioned in my morning skincare routine for oily skin, I'll talk a little bit about using oils to remove heavy makeup. And tonight I'm also going to be showing you how I incorporate a benzoyl peroxide mask to kind of combat oily, shiny skin. So stick around for the nighttime routine, guys. The key thing, no matter who you are or what your skin concern is if you have gone through the day with a heavy makeup on or any makeup on or sunscreen reapplication, as you should be doing regardless, that needs to come off to give your skin time while you're sleeping to just regroup and focus on restoring itself and regenerating rather than being bothered by background noise of garbage on your face, okay? And so rather than scrubbing the makeup and sunscreen and the day off, what is a better approach is to come in with a gentle cleanser that is oil-based. And I've recently become a fan of this sort of double cleanse method. It makes a lot of sense to me in that you come in with a neutral oil to remove dirt and makeup and sunscreen, and then follow it up with a very gentle cleanser. Now that may terrify you if you're somebody with oily skin. The idea of putting oil on oily skin, like, isn't that a horrible thing? But as I mentioned in my morning skincare routine and in my oily skin Q&A, harsh scrubbing of the face, like in an effort to remove makeup and oil, really just aggravates your skin. And as soon as your skin becomes aggravated, you sort of have impetus to get all riled up in there, okay? So gentle removal. And I've recently started doing this and really like it. This is the only oil I've used to do the oil-based cleansing. It's the Hada Labo oil cleanser. Olive oil, a little bit of avocado oil, and castor oil. As far as an oil to select, I recommend a vegetable-based oil, like olive oil, for example, is fine. Coconut oil, I suppose, is fine. It really doesn't matter. The oil, I caution you against botanic oils or essential oils, as those really, there's an increasing incidence of irritation and contact allergic hypersensitivity to those oils in the medical literature. So stick to kind of neutral oils like olive oil, coconut oil, castor oil, grapeseed oil is fine. So that would be the selection oil. And then the other key point is, regardless of who you are, if you're dealing with oily skin or not, and you choose to do this method, these should not be left on the skin. First of all, there's a natural little yeast that lives on our skin who thrives in the oil-bearing surfaces. So he's just gonna go hog wild if you leave this oil on your skin, okay? So that will cause problems in and of itself for anyone. I mean, he lives there, he's normal, we don't want to get rid of him, but we don't want to make him too comfortable, okay? It's like you have to be the parent going on, you know, you have to set boundaries with the yeast that naturally lives on our skin. Boundaries, okay? So disclaimer, I haven't tried personally on myself any other oil-based cleansing methods. You could alternatively use a cold cream. If you go through your day without heavy makeup on, this step is not necessary. You know, you can easily remove sunscreen with a gentle cleanser. If you find that that's difficult for you, this may be something you want to elect. But the key is take an approach where you avoid at all costs scrubbing the face, okay? So that's why I really like this. And to do this, you guys have kind of taught me about it, so thanks for that. But this product has some emulsifiers in it, but this will create a little lather if you put a little water in your palm. So I've just got my hand wet here, and I love that this product comes in a little pump. Another key about the oils is you want to make sure you keep them out of light. That will help them go from, you know, that will help ensure that they don't you know, degrade and become potentially irritating to you and problematic. They can degrade, so I wouldn't keep them around for, you know, longer than several months. So, you know, make sure you replace them. But you can see it creates like a little lather, and then I just very gently use it. I'm really just taking off mascara here for didactic purposes. You know, this is arguably not necessary in my skincare routine, but I've kind of started really liking doing it because it's so relaxing. And this Hada Labo one, I mean, I haven't tried others, but guys, this one is awesome. I mean, it just feels so like this is the way to go. And as far as does this cleanse the pores more deeply, you know, I suppose it makes some logical sense, but you know, this isn't the kind of thing that the NIH is shelling out mega bucks to study, so I can't tell you for sure. So I just kind of do like this. I mean, this feels fine around my eyes. You know, be careful you don't get it in your eyes, obviously, but so I just do that, and you know, you can see just some gentle circle movements. It creates like almost like a little soapy film almost, but it's not soap, okay? It's not disturbing the acid mantle of the skin. It's just oil with a little bit of emulsifier in it to just help. It's just breaking, it's just dissolving that makeup and sunscreen right off of there, all right? And most of the sunscreens, you know, are water resistant. You know, that needs to come off, and this is a great way to do it. Okay, so how do I remove the oil? Normally I hop into the shower at this juncture and do this step and proceed forward, but I haven't quite figured out the cinematography for doing a shoot in the shower, so bear with me here. But I'm gonna come in and follow it up with this little neighbor here, the Hada Labo Foaming Cleanser. This is a hyaluronic acid cleanser. You could do this step, honestly, with really, I mean, I'm really enjoying this, but I don't find it to be any different, just in my personal experience, from like the Neutrogena foaming cleansers, or another great one that I love is this CeraVe facial cleanser, the foaming one, for normal to oily skin. Both of these are great, you know, all of these are great. This one is fragrance free and doesn't have the foaming property. Some people find that the foaming ones are a little drying. And foam is really just there for kind of aesthetic feel. It has no like actual utility, so if foam's not your thing, by all means skip it. But this one happens to foam quite a bit. And you can see, guys, I mean, just some gentle circles, and this is just, you know, now going to take that oil right off. This is the step that I normally hop in the shower, and I do this in my shower. So all right, so immediately to my wet face, I'm gonna come in with a mask, which I'll show you guys in a second. I'm putting this on pretty much my entire face, but I'm sparing the mask area around my eyes, and I'm getting all surfaces. Okay, and so I'm just going to let this sit up on here and talk to you guys. But basically, this is the Neutrogena Clear Pore Cleanser Mask that I'm doing right now. This contains 3.5% benzoyl peroxide in it. Benzoyl peroxide is an ingredient that concentrates very nicely in the oil glands and can really help with shiny, oily skin. And so you can use this as a kind of pore cleansing wash, if you will, and it will really help cut down on excessive greasiness, extra shine control. It really does do that. I love this product. It's a low concentration of benzoyl peroxide. The concentration of benzoyl peroxide in this is 3.5%, which is fairly well tolerated. Lower chance of causing excessive irritation, so it tends to be, you know, easier to handle. However, it is as effective at doing its job as higher strengths with regards to kind of acne control. You know, if you're really motivated and you really want to do an intense one, you could likewise come in with Panoxyl similarly and leave it on the face for a few minutes like I'm doing here. This is 10%. But if you are benzoyl peroxide naive, you've never used it before in your skincare routine, I would not advise starting with this guy. I would try this one first, the lower percentage strength, and work your way up to it. As far as frequency of doing this mask, again, it depends on how naive you are to benzoyl peroxide. You could do this a few nights a week if you're used to it. However, if you're new to it, I would say do it one night a week and see how you do with it, and kind of work your way up to it. And for beginners, I would also encourage you to maybe just get your forehead. I mean, that's where you tend to shine the most bright, right? I mean, that's like a marquee up there. Do the forehead one night, see how you do, and work your way up, okay? That's how I would do it for shininess. You know, I can tolerate this on my face like a champ. I mean, benzoyl peroxide and I mean, we have such a long-standing history. I mean, it's like I can take it, but that probably won't be the case for most people, especially if you haven't used it. This does bleach your fabric, so, you know, be aware of that. But anyways, I love it. And just leaving it on for a few minutes like this, a couple nights a week, you'll find can be really helpful. It's starting to dry on there, and so that's kind of a clue to me that it's about time to take it off. So I'm going to take it off now. Now my face is cleansed. It's had a benzoyl peroxide treatment for oil control, which I've removed, and my skin is wet. Now the goal, as in any skincare routine, should be moisture retention, which does not equate to oiliness, okay? So again, I'm going to come in just as I did in my morning skincare routine with the Hada Labo Super Pumping Gel Cream to my face. Alternatively, I also like this product, the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream Extra Sensitive Skin one. Either one are great, just like I do in my morning to the entire face. This is holding on to all that water, which your skin really needs after a benzoyl peroxide mask. And because that is a humectant and not a moisturizer, and if you're confused as to the difference, check out my moisturizer Q&A. It's a humectant, it gloms onto water, but it doesn't seal it in, okay? So it's glommed on. We've got a nice kind of moisture sponge on our face, holding on for dear life to that water and slowing it down. And we're gonna trap him on there with our friend here, the CeraVe PM. You could use any oil-free moisturizer. I'll list some down below in the description box that are great for oily skin. Some people don't like this product, but there are others that you may give a whirl that are in the drugstore for affordable price. So I'll list some that I like and have used and feel comfortable recommending to you, but if they don't work for you, then take them back. All right, so I'm doing this so everything is all sealed in. All right, so now I'm just gonna let the moisturizer kind of dry on there and come to room temperature, if you will. So my face is really kind of nice and moisturized right now, and you could totally be done at this point, but talking point. So if you'll recall back to the morning skincare routine, I used a salicylic acid based cleanser to cut down on oil. However, and you could use that at night, and you could use the same cleanser at night if you wanted to. However, if you were using a retinoid, the two cannot be used simultaneously. So if you're confused about that, check out my different tips videos and my different Q&A videos. I kind of explain the differences. But long story short, salicylic acid in the presence when salicylic acid and adapalene or different are applied simultaneously, the salicylic acid can compromise the efficacy of the different, which is the retinoid that I use for acne control and removing sun-damaged skin cells, but also is effective in decreasing oiliness. And so that's how I use it. It can, however, be combined with benzoyl peroxide. That has been demonstrated in several studies, and it is fine to use adapalene or Differin, brand name Differin here in the US, with benzoyl peroxide. The two don't cancel each other out. If you are using another retinoid like tretinoin, you cannot use those in combination with benzoyl peroxide. So adapalene or Differin is the exception, and it can be used in combination with benzoyl peroxide. So I'm using them together tonight, and I do use them together pretty much, and I use them together every night, and I'm showing you guys this because the benzoyl peroxide mask that I just did is great for oil control. So now my skin is hydrated, it's receptive, and ready to receive Differin. It's not agitated. I've just put the brakes on transepidermal water loss, and everything is going well. So the skin is hydrated. Now the Differin is good to go. You can wash your face in the morning after using this. By the way, people ask me that, and that's fine too. I mean, it works overnight and then it's done. Okay. And like I've shown before, you really only need a tiny bit of this. And I put it here, I put it here, a little bit on the nose. And so yeah, that's basically my nighttime skincare routine for oily skin with the benzoyl peroxide mask in there. So it entails a non-aggressive mechanism to remove the makeup so as to not agitate the skin and amp up oil production. If you don't wear heavy makeup, then you can skip this oil step. It's not necessary. And you can just simply cleanse the face of dirt and oil and sunscreen with a hydrating cleanser such as this, okay? Do not use salicylic acid if you're pursuing different. However, if you're not pursuing different in your skincare routine, it's fine to use salicylic acid at night, and it's fine to use it in combination with benzoyl peroxide, okay? Do know that both salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, as well as different can be very irritating to you, so don't go throwing all of these things on your face at one time. So work your way up, but this is what works for me and what I do, okay? And then the focus tonight was on the mask for oil control and shine reduction. And I like this one. I'll list it down below. Remember, moisturization does not equal oil production, okay? Sebum and hydration are two separate things, okay? So keep that in mind. But give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!